guys two links. On your read my message, correct?
Yeah, read mine.
Okay, yeah. On your read my message. On your read my message.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Is a YouTube link work or no?
Yeah, it works.
It works. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna record it. We're gonna talk about a unit circle. You can get in Zoom if you want, but I don't know if I'm gonna record it just in case.
So just click OCPS mobile. Yeah. And then it's OCPS means success. Yeah.
Okay. So basically we're gonna fill up the unit circle the proper way. We're gonna talk about what things you have to see, things like that. So I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna fill in the unit circles. That's all we need to do for the day. Okay, so the unit circle here, you see it here. If you're on Zoom, you can see it right away. If you're on live stream, it's gonna be delayed.
Yeah, it's gonna film.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So unit circle will be delayed a little bit if you're on live stream. But on Zoom, you're gonna see it right away. But I don't know how you can get over the school Wi-Fi for Zoom. Right here, we're gonna talk about I'll let Zack take over the co-host, and then you can let student in. So you probably done unit circle before, but I wanted student to see the more a correct way to see it, not just only to fill in the unit circle, but I wanted you guys to see there's a triangle inside. So we're gonna talk about those triangle. I hear we're gonna talk about 3 different type of triangles. I hear this triangle here is the red line, and there was a red line. There was a red triangle here, but there was 2 pieces of a triangle. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do this one right. So there was this piece of triangle. Basically, they're gonna look like kind of type of like butterfly. So on this side, there was another side here. And there was another blue one. I'm gonna talk about a blue one. So there was a blue one here at 45 degrees. All the material should be exactly alike. And there was, let me use a different color. Let's do purple. So this purple one here. Again, there was 2-part triangles. So this is a proper way to see it. There was actually multiple different type of triangles here. So I'm going to show you what the split part is. The split part is those top part and bottom part of the triangle. Okay, so there's 4 different triangle for each color. So there's red, blue, and purple. And each triangle has a base and height, and they are different lengths. So as far as on a unit circle goes, a lot of you guys don't know what a unit circle looks really big, but it's actually not really big. It looks like from here. It's called unit circle because they're exactly 1 units. And that looks like right here. It's actually 1 unit. So this is Cartesian coordinate. So this is 1, 0, 0, 1, and -1, 0, and 0, -1. So it's 1, 0, 0, 1, -1, 0, and 0, -1. Okay, so this is basic ideas. The radius is exactly 1, and the radius is 1 makes this unit circle. We're going to start with the angles. So we're going to start with the very easy angles. So we know 360 degrees and 0 degrees. So 360 degree is equal to 2 pi. 180 degree is equal to pi. So we're going to start with this side is 0. And sorry, that's not 0. 0 is 0 degree here, 180 degrees, and 360 degrees. And if that's the case, then I'm going to go with 0, 180, 360. Then half of that is going to be 90, 180. So those are the very standard ones. So 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree. Oh, sorry, that's not 180 degree. I keep on my mistake. This one's 270. Okay, so each one just adding 90. So from here to here, 90, here 90, here 90, and here 90. So it will end up to be 360. So this one's 270. So let me zoom in, erase this one, 270, make sure. And then half of 90 is going to make a 45. So I'm going to use 45 is the, so I'm only going to worry about the 45 degrees now. So each of this 45 degree is roughly like it's like 1/8 slice of pizza. So it's 48, 90, 135, 225, and 315 degrees. Now I'm going to go worry about the red triangle. The red triangle, this is 30. Now, you know this paddle, right? This paddle right here looks like right here. In terms of clock, is between 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So that one small paddle is going to be 30 degree because it's 12 hours, right? If you divide it by 360 by 12 hour, each hour is going to be exactly 30 degrees. So this is between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock here. In terms of clockwise, that's 30 degrees. So that means if I have 180 right here, I can track it backwards. I can subtract 30 degrees and then get this. It's called 150 degrees. I'll add 30. It's going to be 210. I'll subtract 360 by that is 330. And out of purple one is going to be 60 degrees because it's double 30 is 60. And this is 120, 180, 240, 300. And that should finish with all the angles. So the angles, do you guys have any question for as angles goes?
For the triangles, is like 30 the is it like one of the angles in the triangle? Like the red
This
one?
is 30 degrees. Yeah, this is 30 degrees right here. This is 30 degrees. And this is also
okay.
30 degrees because that would be 360 subtract 30. That's how you get 330.
And then do we have to draw the triangles for the test?
No, you don't have to draw out a triangle on a test because you don't have enough time. So, but this triangle to visualize, there is a there is a two length of this triangle. See, this one has a shorter length and this one's longer length. And this is the exactly even length for the blue one. And for the purple one, it should have a bigger side and a small side here. If you see that visually, it'll help you determine what the coordinate is. Now, what happened is I'm going to go with radians. If radians here is going to be 0, sorry, I'm going to use black here. This is going to be 0. This is 360. Oops, not 360. It's 2 pi. And that here is going to be pi. Now, the pi and 2 pi is significant to help you determine all other things. So I was told this pi is mean a little bit more here. So this pi is equal to 2 pi over 2. Also 3 pi over 3. Also 6 pi, 4 pi over 4. Or 6 pi over 6. Because 6 over 6 is 1, 4 over 4 is 1, 3 over 3 is 1, 2 over 2 is 1. So that will help you to calculate a lot of things. And we're going to talk about that. And 2 pi is, well, 2 pi is equal to 4 pi over 2, is equal to 6 pi over 3, is equal to 8 pi over 4, that's equal to 12 pi over 6. So, and that's also divided out to be 2 pi. So with the 45 degrees one, the blue triangle, we can talk about that. The blue triangle is going to be very, very significant because we're going to talk about one more thing. Here is going to be pi over 2 because of half pi. So here, 90 degrees exactly pi over 2. And then 2 pi over 2, right? And I help you to get this one. What will be this one? If that's 2 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2,
3.
This one should be
3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2. Good. So that's actually help you easier to think about what happened to each one. And then 4 pi over 2, right? And then now let's go to a 45 degrees. So 45 degree is going to be pi over 2. And the pi over 2 is going to divide it by 2. So it's pi over 4. So this is going to be exactly pi over 4. So all the blue triangle has all over 4. If you realize that blue triangle has all over 4, so then you're going to think about this is like a quarter, and this is a 2/4 because 2 pi over 4 is equal to pi over 2. And if I go one more spoke here, it's going to be 3 pi over 4, right? So you got pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, and 4 pi over 4. 4 pi over 4 is right here. So 0, pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4. And then this is going to be makes 5 pi over 4. Does that make sense? 6 pi over 4 right here. And lastly, 7 pi over 4. So we just finished all the over 4. And we're done with all the pi over 4. So I know they got pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4. That's combination of, pi over 2 is equivalent to 2 pi over 4. Now, what happened is I'm going to take the 30 degrees one. 30 degree is known as pi over 6. Well, how do I know that? That's how you convert it. You got 180, you got pi radian. So that's equal to 30 over 180 pi radian. So that's equal to 1 over 6 pi. So that makes this one's a pi over 6. So now remember, all this red triangle is all pi over 6. What do you think make this one? If I know this is 6 pi over 6 all the way here, what do you think this one will be? Anyone?
5 pi over 6.
5/6, exactly. So you subtract 5/6 because 6/6 subtract 5/6, that's equal to 5/6. So it's going to be 5/6. And for the other side, instead of subtracting, we'll be adding. Remember, this is 6/6, right? 6/6 is going to be 7/6. And that's really easy to determine all the 5/6. 5/6, 5/6, 7/6. What does that make 330 degrees? Well, if I here have 12/6, what makes 330? Anyone?
11/6.
11/6. Good. Because 12/6 subtract 5/6 is going to be 11/6. So we finish all this 30 degrees one, 30 degree, 150, 210, and 330. And all the things over there is all exactly 5/6, which is those wider part of the butterfly. If you think about this red thing is a butterfly, you got a very fat butterfly, right? And there's a skinning and tall butterfly. I can really teach that. So let's talk about those. Well, we know that each 30 degree is pi/6. Now, 60 degrees is going to be 2/6. 2/6 is also known as pi/3. So this is pi/3. So this is 2/3 actually. And that makes this side is the 3/3, 4/3, and the 5/3. So that's all the pi/3. So you see all the pi/3 is all in a similar spots, right? In terms of clock, it would be at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And they are very, very close to y-axis. So that's kind of think about that relationships. If you think about those relationships, you'll be fine. Now let's talk about special right triangle. Let's talk about SAT. That's going to help you SAT score. So SAT topic is going to be 30, 60. It's going to be 45, 45, 90. This is special right triangle. It has a certain ratio. This ratio is going to be exactly like this. This is 90 degrees. So this is x, this is x, this is x square root 2. So this is 45 degrees and 45 degrees. So it's called 45, 45, 90. And this has a ratio of x square root 2. What does that mean? That means if I have some type of length, here, let's say this is if this side is a 45, and this side 45, and this side 90. If this is 6, that means this side is also 6. Because 6 is equal to x. Now, what makes the third side? Well, that's just x square root 2. Now, if the x is 6, then it'd be 6 square root 2. So that's a very easy SAT question. You don't even need to do calculations, like 10 seconds if you understand the ratio. Because you know 6 is x. Once you figure out x, you figure out everything, right? But sometimes it gets kind of difficult. SAT get to ask you like something like this. And you say, okay, well, what do I do with that? Well, if you have 45, 45, this is 90. And let's say this side is, let's say 8. And what you're going to do is going to take the 8, set it to equal this ratio. Then you can figure out an x is. Does that make sense? Because the hypotenuse, you said hypotenuse equal to each other. So then 8 equal to x square root 2. Can x equal to 8 over square root 2. X equal to 8 over square root 2. You rationalize because that means you don't want the denominator to be that. So it'd be 8 square root 2 over 2. Cancel out 4 square root 2. So this one's 4 square root 2. Okay. Does that make sense? To you guys, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if this is 1? What if that's 1? What makes this? What makes this spaces, right?
Is it 1/√2?
1 over square root 2, but you got to rationalize it. That makes what?
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be √2/2.
Square root 2 over 2. Why? Because 1 equal to x square root 2. If you set the ratio, 1 equal to x over square root 2, you need to rationalize, so it'd be square root 2 over 2 equal to x. So if this side is square root 2 over 2, that kind of told me this one's 45 degrees. Oh, sorry. This one's 45 degrees. And this one is 1. Why is that one's 1? Because from this point to this point, from this point to this point is exactly 1. So that makes this triangle, this has 2 lengths. That makes this one is square root 2 over 2. And this square root 2 over 2. And that makes this length is square root 2 over 2, the base of the triangle, and the height of the triangle is square root 2 over 2. So that's where they get that from. It's not because they just ask you to memorize it, they actually knows the certain things. So that makes all the ratio is this, negative square root 2 over 2, square root 2 over 2, and this one's negative square root 2 over 2, negative square root 2 over 2, because that's just quadrants. Square root 2 over 2 and negative square root 2 over 2. Does that make sense? Because a quadrant, on this side's first quadrant is plus plus, negative plus, and negative negative, and positive negative. Okay. Now let's talk about this 30 degree. The second type of special right triangle is 30 degree. Sorry, is a red. So it'll be 30 degree, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. Now they always have the same ratio. The ratio is going to be, it's known ratio. You have to know this. So the 30 degree is also facing the smallest angle. So with the 30 degree is facing the x. And 90 degrees is facing the double. So it'll be 2x. And the 60 degree is facing square root 3 times x. So it'll be square root 3 times x. Now, what if I give you a triangle? I say, hey, can you tell me what is this? Well, 2x, right? 2x equal to, and that's to say if this one's 30, 60, and if I say this side is 10, can you find out which side first? Well, 2x is equal to 10, right? What x must be?
5.
This side must be 5 because that's facing 30 degrees. And what's the 60 degrees facing?
√3 times x, or times 5.
There you go, that's 5, right? Now, it turns out on the unit circle, each radius is 1. So that makes the hypotenuse of the triangle is 1. So that makes what? What does this would be?
That'd be 1/2, and then that would be √3/2.
Exactly. So therefore, If you see this one is going to be 1/2 because that's the height of the triangle, that's 1/2 because this is a 1, and that's 1/2, and that makes this side square root 3 over 2. So that makes the square root 3 over 2 is the x coordinate, and this is 1/2. And negative square root 3 over 2 and 1/2. Negative square root 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. And square root 3 over 2 and 1/2 negative. So there's a reason why those coordinates come in play. It's actually from 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 45, 90. Those are the very important informations. And turn out the red triangle is same thing as the purple triangle. It just one is laying down and one standing up. So it's one laying down and one standing up. That means the x and y coordinate just switch. So that means this part is 1/2. And this part is square root 3 over 2. Does that make sense? That triangle, one is laying down, one is standing up. So they're the same triangle. And this is 1/2 negative square root 3 over 2 positive, negative 1/2 negative square root 3 over 2, and positive 1/2 square root 3 over 2. So you have 7 minutes to complete this tomorrow. You can watch this video more than one time. You can grab as many sheets of the unit circle as possible and make sure you understand everything and make sure the way we understand it. There is 3 different type of triangles there because that's going to help you build something down the road. And it's going to make it easier for you in your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah. You have questions?
Yeah.
Which question?
Do we fill in the positive and negative, or we just leave it blank?
Leave it blank for now. We're going to talk about a positive negative, so don't worry about this, and not part of the quiz. Now they are all students take calculus. That's kind of help you sine, cosine, and stuff like that. But I don't need to know that because you're gonna know that intuitively instead of just actually memorize them. Okay. Any questions from here? Okay. There was second part. I will make a video about the other side. The other side is the identities, and I'll make this afternoon. So afternoon, there's no tutoring. You can welcome to join the identity lectures, but the lecture of that identity is going to be recorded. I will post it, but this video is posted right now, so that way you can have access to it. Any question about this part? Okay, you guys can grab as many sheets and practice till end of the period. Make sure you understand it by tomorrow. You can see in 7 minutes, you can complete this worksheet. Then we can work out identities and solving trigonometry equations. That'll be all. I'll see you tomorrow. And your test is graded, but I have 3 people didn't put a name, so I don't know who's who. But I'll put in the grade today, but I'm missing 3 people. I don't know what are their names.